What's going on, everybody? We are back with Bodybuilding Bollocks episode number 10. Luke is texting somebody right now, but I just thought I would start anyway.
Yeah, you've just completely thrown me off. Cheers.
So, can you guys hear him now?
Yeah, you can hear this succulent microphone? You hear that?
All right. Why don't you tell them, all our awesome fans that put up with your fucking nonsense for
listen.
week after week, tell them what you did wrong.
Right, so it all started the day that I bought the microphone and put the instructions straight in the bin. I just had the microphone the wrong way around. So
this fucking guy, brilliant genius that he is, had the microphone turned around
which is
backwards.
really funny because I did music technology at college, so I'm really good with microphones, and I had it the wrong way around. So yeah.
See, if you would have bought one of these, it doesn't matter. I can have it this way, or I can have it this way.
That's not the microphone. That's the cover.
Well, you know what the fuck I mean. Anyways. So now you guys can all hear Luke. I don't want to hear any more fucking bitching.
Well, we hope so. We hope so.
No.
What if it goes out and everyone's like, it's still shit?
No, I'm sick of reading the comments. I can't hear Luke again.
I know I keep getting DMs as well. Like people like, buy a new microphone. I'm like, this was like $180. I'm not just gonna fucking buy another one just so you can hear me better. Fuck off.
I even told you to buy a new one because I was getting annoyed just reading the comments.
Yeah. So. But now we're probably gonna get loads of comments saying about how good it sounds, and that's gonna be equally annoying.
And then, it's gonna be annoying is they're gonna say, well, now Fouad's mic sounds like shit.
Yeah.
So now I got to deal with
better microphone.
Anyway, so I think we should tell everybody the big, huge fucking news about your life.
What
yeah. I don't want to hide it anymore. Just tell everybody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Just tell everybody what's going on in your life.
I don't know what specifically you're talking about.
Okay, what good things have happened in the last week?
You mean the female thing?
Well, what else could happen in your life that was that good? Now you're making her feel bad.
I'm a busy man, so I've got lots of cool stuff going on.
Okay, well, tell me one of the coolest things.
I got the dog some pajamas. He looks sensational in them.
You're such an ass. Well, I'll tell you. Look, see this?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I saw that yesterday. That's fucking cool.
It's a fucking. Me and the Ice Shaker Company are discussing a little bit of a partnership.
What products have you actually got like locked in, finished? You're happy with them?
Well, being a bodybuilder, I'm not fucking happy with any of them.
Oh,
I want all of them. You know what? Personally, I'm fucking extremely happy with what we've done. Extremely happy. But when you start sampling to let's say I sample to 50 people.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different opinion.
Yeah, it's true.
One guy will say, man, this is the craziest pump I ever had in my whole life. And the next guy will be like, well, the pump was not bad, but the energy was through the roof. And then the next guy will be like, well, the energy in the pump was kind of shit, but my focus was crazy. I was so focused on my...
Has anyone said it's all shit?
No one.
I got nothing.
No one yet has said this is total dog crap. But a few people have said this is the best fucking thing I've ever taken. So that makes me happy, but it's just even the flavoring is hard, right? Because
I always find the flavoring thing the oddest thing, because I get so many people message me, they're like, what's the best flavor? I'm like, well, the one that you like.
It depends on your palate.
Read what it says. If it says vanilla and you like vanilla, you're probably going to like it.
But they want to know which one Luke likes the best.
But what I mean is, so I've said it so many times, my favorite flavor is this, and they go, oh no, it's horrible. Well, what the fuck? Why are you asking that? So, if flavor is so subjective. For example, I get so much shit for not liking cinnamon. I hate cinnamon.
I remember that from before.
Yeah, and it still goes on to this day. It's like everyone's accusing me of being racist against cinnamon.
Well, what's wrong with cinnamon? Everybody likes cinnamon.
Well, don't ask me. Ask my brain. It receives the information from my tongue and goes, fuck that.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, I 100% believe in what we're doing, and I'm I love the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really difficult when you're trying to please people, because I'm putting a lot into this, and you want everybody to love what you're putting out.
Yeah, of course.
So
but if 50 people said they liked it, then that's a good.
No, but 50 people didn't. That's what I'm trying to say. When you get 50 people, you get 35 different opinions.
Yes, but they're all positive opinions.
Yeah, in some way they're all positive, but
which I mean, that's hard because I do believe that kind of, I mean, like just for example, the Redcon Total War, I've had people say, oh, it's really weak.
really,
I barely use it because it's too strong for me.
how the fuck is it? That's what I noticed. You know what? We put ours out.
So I think what it is like if you get somebody, if say 10 of those, I mean, coffee is a very popular drink. Let's say 25, that's 50% of your 50%.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of coffee. Of course, they're not going to get the energy because they have their caffeine tolerance is so much higher.
Well, I figured that out with one guy because I had him test it, and he said, "You know what? Halfway through my workout, I kind of like felt like I was dying down." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "What were you taking before?" So he tells me he was taking before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, there's 660 milligrams of stimulus," and I wasn't exaggerating. I looked at the fucking. I'm not going to name the names because I don't do that, but I looked at the back of the label, and I think a lot of people get confused because they don't realize that some of the things they don't know the names. Like I've learned so much in the last 3 months putting out supplements. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that you don't know the name on the back of the label, they're stimulants.
Yeah.
So there's 660 milligrams of stimulants, only 300 milligrams of caffeine. Mm. So when this person looks at the label, they're probably like, oh, there's only 300 milligrams of caffeine. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't add the dendrobium and the fucking synephrine and all the other stimulants that are adding up. So I said, dude, you went from 660, mine's got 200, which we've increased a little bit now, but it was 200 at the time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there's no doubt you're going to feel tired. Like you're 460 milligrams less.
Yeah. But so as well, like, I mean, with the pump thing as well, I mean, you might have somebody that has a shitty diet and somebody might have a better diet. Yeah. One of them, you know, the pump's going to vary versus one might have drank a lot more fluid, one might not have, one might salt food more, you know, it's a minefield. It's not, you know, it must be hard.
Do you believe, this is something I've been curious about because, let's say you looked at another label and I don't even want to put it that way. Let's just say you have everything you need in the product.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a place you can go to where there's too much in there? And I don't mean stimulant wise.
Yeah, I do. I think there is overkill.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, because you got to think about it. I mean, there's only so many actions one product can have. And I'm sure if you're only looking for 3. Yeah. Right. If you start adding ingredients that do the same thing, to me, that's essentially pointless. Just choose the best one of the 2. And you're
I don't know if I agree with that though, because if you look if you take citrulline, like if you take a lot of the arginine type products, you can have 2 or 3 ingredients that work to do the same thing, but they work in different ways.
Well, that's how it would vary. But you could probably extend that to 4 or 5 ingredients. But you've just said those 3 are the best, so you don't need anything more. But I'm sure, you know, it's like I think you just choose the best ones. And if you're using things that fight for the same action, you know, that's just throwing money away. So I think
this is what we did. Is I tried to put 2 ingredients per action that I want.
Yeah.
So I did like 2 stimulant, 2 pump, 2 focus, 2 endurance.
Yeah.
And I kind of built it out that way.
Yeah.
But you don't think 2 per action is too much?
I don't think 2 is, no.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't. I think it's if you're having like 6 different stimulants and then 1 for pump, then 1 for endurance, you're a bit off. You know,
that was like that other product we're talking about.
Because then I think the product you're putting out there is very even keel. It's balanced.
Yeah.
So not you know, it's not going to be too much of one, not enough of the others. Again, that's probably why you're going to get such a varied amount of results.
Yeah, I was going a little bit crazy trying to please every single person, and I realized kind of what you just said is like,
yeah, you can't please everyone.
No, everyone's going to be different.
But the main thing to focus on there is everyone liked it for a different reason, but they still liked it.
Yeah, yeah, but I want everyone to like everything about it.
You can't. That's not possible. Is
it's possible. No.
Not possible.
All right. Anyway, back to your important shit. I don't care about your dog's pajamas. Tell me the good shit.
Well, we kind of said it last week to me. I'm off the market. I'm back where I was.
Yeah, but now you're like off the market. Like when I called you, you're like, I'm with my girl.
Yeah.
You're like,
well,
travel.
I said she's gone out, and I need to make sure the front door's open because she doesn't have a key to get in.
No, not right now. Like earlier in the week. So what I'm saying is like you're fully like back to normal life, and you guys are like.
No, I mean it's only like a couple of days a week. A couple of days a week is we're still like because she still lives a few hours away.
Yeah.
Taking it slow because I mean we've rushed into it really like head on before.
That doesn't sound like you're taking it slow. You're going to Florida together tomorrow.
I'll tell you why, because I'll tell you why this is. So I'm going to the Redcon One gym this weekend.
Yeah.
She's a huge bodybuilding fan anyway. And she had this week off work. So I was like, well, let's go away for a few days, somewhere nice, because you've got that time off. I want to go away anyway. And then it turned out that Redcon needed me. So I was like, well, come with me. It's not the same, but it's free.
No, it is the same. That's not bad though. I've done that.
Yeah. She's a massive Kai Green fan. So
that's not good for you.
She doesn't like, it's not in that way. I'm not going to say what she said. Filthy racist bitch. But no, she's a huge Kai Green fan, and he's going to be there. So.
Oh, he's going there too?
Yeah.
Why is he going there? He's got his own company.
Yeah, but he's really close friends with Aaron, and Aaron part owns his business. So I think Aaron can basically tell him to do whatever he wants.
I don't know if I don't think that's how it works.
No, Aaron's probably paying him an awful lot of money.
Yeah, it's probably more likely the case.
Yeah.
But no, I've had situations when I was working, like when I was traveling more, like I had to guest pose out in Saint Martin in the Caribbean, and I told my wife, I'm like, don't you come with me? And we stayed for a week.
Yeah.
I guess posed the one day, and then we stayed for a week.
But annoyingly, everything I'm doing this week is all Redcon related. So I don't think.
Yeah, but it's like a couple hours a day, and then you go.
Well, one thing that is nice is she's invited everyone. Aaron has invited everyone over to his house, so I think they're gonna have a nice. Like everyone's seen them on Instagram. And he has like the nice, like they're not parties, but everyone's there. It's a nice. All the athletes will be there. All the people who are part of Redcon. It's like a nice kind of celebration of the gym, which would be cool.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. The cool thing about that is too, when you go somewhere where you don't know the area, you have people there that'll take you around to different places and show you where you can have good dinners and whatever else. So
yeah, every time I've been to Florida, they've looked after me pretty well. So it's never been like they're just trying to drop me out there and go, right, there you go. They've always easy. Yeah.
Cool. So you guys are gonna have a good time.
I hope so.
What's going on with Ben? Ben's getting married?
Yes.
How did that happen so quickly?
I've known about it for weeks. I'm one of the only 3 people in the world that's known about this.
I'm sure it's true.
I've just been waiting for it to just pop out, and it's out there.
Okay, but wait a minute. How long have they been together? Does he mind you talking about this?
No, I don't know. They met at the Arnold because Denise, his
Columbus.
Yes, Denise is his fiance now. She was actually tanning me for the Arnold.
Oh.
And he was my hot friend. And now they're getting married. So I am entirely responsible for Ben's happiness. So,
it seems like that. It seems like he owes you quite a bit.
No, he doesn't. As long as he doesn't fuck it up like I've done before, then he's all good. Yeah. And plus, it just coincidentally, he's always wanted to move to the States.
Why?
That's always been his because he just loves it out there. He loves it. It suits him. Look at the fucking guy. He doesn't even look English. He's he is half Chinese, but he's
I thought he was. I was going to say he's half Asian.
He's half Chinese, yeah. But no, he's always wanted to be there, and it just so happens it's like he fell in love with a woman from there. It's almost like it was meant to be. It's nice. Which I do quite heavily believe in that stuff because Ben's been through a lot of shit over the last few years.
Yeah.
So he thoroughly deserves finally to have, everything lining up for him.
Are you going to be his best man?
I fucking better be after that speech. You know what I mean?
Okay, but the question is, are you going to be upset if you're not his best man?
Yeah.
Does he have any brothers?
No.
So if it's not you, you'll be pissed.
Yeah.
It kind of puts him on the spot now because he's going to hear this and he's going to be like...
He won't hear this. He never even...
Well, he wouldn't listen
to this shit. No, he doesn't give a fuck. I did the Science Game podcast for 3 years. He's never heard it.
Are you serious? That's how Paul is too. Paul.
Yeah.
I was like, Paul, I got so-and-so on the podcast. He's like, tell me what happens. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, give me cliff notes. I don't care.
Seriously, I'll tell him. I'll be like...
talking of that, have you had Mike from the research station on yet?
Yeah, I have.
Has the episode aired?
Oh, we talked about that on our last week. Did you watch any of the videos?
Yeah, we talked about it, and I've watched all the videos. It's brilliant.
He's fucking smart as fuck, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I had him on last week, but I have kind of a rotation as to how I put things out.
Yeah.
So I had Juan Morel on before.
Yeah. So
I put Juan's video out first, and then we have ours that we do on Monday or Tuesday. So Mike's will be out later this week.
Yes. How was it? Good.
Extremely humbling.
Very insightful.
You feel like you're dumb as shit when you listen.
Do you know what I really like is when you hear some information that all of a sudden you kind of thought you knew it anyway, and then someone comes along and validates the whole thing and makes you realize how stupid you were for not knowing how obvious it was, and then it kind of changes everything moving forward.
That didn't happen.
Oh.
Well, it might have happened for you if you listened to it, but for me, I was like, holy shit. I don't know how I got this big. I've been doing it all wrong for 20 years.
That's what I mean. When you're like, shit, I've done this well and I'm doing that wrong. I can't wait to see what happens when I'm doing it right. Let's go. That's what I mean. It's like whenever when you just hear a piece of information like about health and you're like, fuck yeah, I don't do that. It's obvious. I'm going to do it. And
Well, but that's the difference between what we're saying is it wasn't obvious. Like I'll give you one little tidbit. And I think we talked about this last week, but I'm not sure. So I'll bring it up again and you can remind me.
Okay.
So he's talking about dosing your test, and he's talking about how much you can absorb at once.
Yeah, it wasn't like 125 milligrams or something.
Yeah, 120 minutes. So I'm like, it's something like that. I'm like, I had no fucking idea. I had no idea. But the most important part of all of it is he really, really stresses the importance of micronutrients.
Yeah.
And how if your body doesn't have any micronutrients, you're not going to dispose of toxicity, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And you're not going to absorb your gear.
Yeah.
So every time someone's like, oh, I don't need any vegetables, I just eat fucking rice and chicken and whatever, he's like, this person could be exponentially better if they were getting in more micronutrients.
But you're quite a big green shake guy, and you have been for quite a while.
I was for a little while. I got lazy. It's like
I do that twice a day, every day. Fiber, probiotics. I do all of that stuff. Like
no, but I was juicing my own vegetables.
Yeah.
Because I asked Mike about that. I said, are greens the same thing as vegetables? He goes, look, he's like, if you don't get any vegetables, it's better to have a green shake. But he's like, it's not the same as getting actual vegetables and eating them.
Yeah.
So
what if it's powdered vegetables? How is it not the same?
Huh?
What if it's powdered vegetables? You can get that.
Well, I don't know. It can't be. I don't know. You have to ask him for an actual scientific.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I wouldn't think it's the same.
Yeah.
You would think a powdered form is the same as like eating an actual.
No, maybe not, but it might be more concentrated. Like, I mean, how many fucking oranges do you need to eat to get the recommended daily amounts of vitamin C?
But I think it's also the way your body absorbs things. Like when you eat things, your mouth releases enzymes and breaks them down so that your body can absorb it. Yeah. When you just put a bunch of powder in a thing and you drink it,
that's the difference between whole and standardized, isn't it? So.
What do you mean? Explain that.
So like standardized, like for example, when you have a coffee, there's caffeine and there's other parts of the coffee that work in conjunction with the caffeine.
Yeah.
Whereas taking like a caffeine pill is just standardized caffeine. They've just taken that one part.
Yeah.
So like when you have the caffeine, you get the high, but you don't. It feels different. It doesn't quite. You don't come like
not the same as the coffee.
It's not the same. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I was explaining this by a holistic nutritionist. They said when you drink a protein shake, most of the time, the reason you have a stomach ache, especially if you put a banana or something in there, is because you're bypassing all the enzymes that are released in your mouth when you're eating.
Yes.
So it's like, that's why you drink it and it goes to your stomach. You kind of get like a nauseous feeling because it hasn't been broken down before it got, the enzymes haven't been released to break it down before it got there. Yeah.
Although some proteins contain the enzyme, don't they?
I know. Like I said, I'm not.
No, I know. It's fascinating because
it's
like, because it's a lot of the time when you hear stuff like that, you're like, I agree, but the protein must still work because people have been doing that. And there's a lot of guys out there that have a ton of protein shakes versus whole food, and they're huge.
But what I'm saying is, one, how much better can you be? And I don't just mean size wise, because he said to me, he's like, look, you got to a certain size. And that's, I think we're talking off air. He's like, you got to a certain size, but what did you do in the process? Like he tells a story about a guy with a colostomy bag, and he's got a colostomy bag because he was doing like 1,000 milligrams of tren a week for like 6 months. And he's like, this person could have gotten the same result, but been healthy all the way through. And that's what I love about what he's doing. He's not saying don't take juice. He's saying,
no, I know.
He's saying you can be bigger and better and fucking healthier.
Yeah. If
you just do it this way instead of your way.
Yeah. He's putting out some really good information.
But this is the shitty part about the podcast. And I don't want to, not shitty in a negative way, but you know how you want to ask somebody about gear and you want like a kind of an answer that you can It's a solid answer. You know what I mean?
Yes or no?
Yeah, one of those. It was more. The way he makes it sound is taking steroids, taking gear, performance enhancing drugs, whatever you want to call it, is so specific to the body type that he's like, I can't just give you one answer. Like if I said, even the time of day you take your gear, he's like, you should take your gear. He's like, especially tren. He's like, you should take your gear, take your tren an hour before you train. And I was like, well, I usually take my tren like before. I usually take most of my shots before I go to bed. Like it's just a habit. It's just like I just do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, if you take your tren before you go to bed, you're gonna have really shitty sleep because I guess it's the hormone release or something like that. It's like
the initial peak.
Yeah. So then he's like, if you take it early in the morning and you're not training till later in the day, you're going to be aggressive and irritated all day long because of the same reason. He's like, so if you take it right before the gym, you're going to get that peak spike about it or something. So
yeah, I mean, again, that isn't obvious until you hear it. That's obvious.
For 20 years, like I'll do my day and I'll go through my day and I'll do all my stuff, and then like I hate doing shots.
Yeah.
So I keep putting it off, and then like at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I'll be like, okay, I gotta fucking do this. But now I'm like, I've been doing it wrong this whole fucking time. Well,
the interesting thing is if you do change it and to his idea and it makes no difference at all, then it's like, well, where's the that I don't know how to explain it. That's when it becomes a bit confusing.
Well, I'll tell you this: I slept like a baby for the last 3 nights.
It's only been 3 nights. It has only been 3 nights though, but yeah, that's good. That's a good sign.
So, no, this is nobody can tell me like, oh, well, you would have got to 320 pounds if you did it this way.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm trying to say is great about what he's doing. My thing is this: a lot of people out there know I have blood work that I didn't like when I got back. Like my kidney levels were this, blah, blah, blah. My blood pressure was high. What I'm trying to say is, could I be 300 pounds and not have any of those issues?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying
to. I would say most likely, because a lot of people have done that. Yeah, I think a lot of people might unintentionally do it wrong, but in the correct way that he's describing. Like how many guys have you met that are really big and they don't have much money, they can't afford much gear, and they're really big? Yeah. Because they can't afford it, or they can't get it, or they don't want to use it. Yeah. And I kind of think to those people, it's like they must be in that camp. Like they're using the right amount without even knowing it. They would have to use more if they can afford it. There's so many of those guys. Yeah, they're like, I'm doing like 200 milligrams of test prop a week and a mil of tren, and you work out it's 300 milligrams total, and they're like 280. Yeah. But the thing is, even the dosing, like I've never heard of somebody doing shots every single day. Yeah. He's like, look, instead of doing your test E, instead of doing like 375 or whatever you're doing 3 times a week, do 100 milligrams of prop every single day. And he's like, you're going to get, I was like, dude, I don't want to do all those fucking shots, man. And he goes, there's a product you can take with it. It's called Triactin. I said, what the fuck is that? And he goes, Triactin like a fucking man. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, okay. So now I feel like a bitch and I feel stupid. Okay. So, no, there's a lot of good information in it, but it's not like, you read Dan Duchesne's book, you're like, do this much tren, do this much this. Yes. He's like, look, man, this shit's more specific than you guys are making it. He goes, I need your fucking blood work. Like I'm gonna work with him on this side of things. Yeah. He's like, I need your fucking blood work. So I sent him my blood work, and he goes, this blood work is shit. And he doesn't mean the levels. He means there's not enough information here. He's like, I'm going to send you another sheet of items I need checked before I can tell you what to do, how to fix this, how to fix that, what to do moving forward. So he's like, so basically what I'm trying to say is in the podcast, I realized it's so specific to the person, to the blood type. He also does like the whole blood type. Are you an endomorph, mesomorph, ectomorph? Are you O positive, B positive, whatever? All these things matter based on what your stack should be and how much it should be and all that. Yeah, I mean, that's the intricate details of the whys. I think the wider things happen, because I have a lot of friends who could take a gram of tren a week, fine. 200 milligrams of test, they feel like shit.
Yeah, but how long? Okay, you say that,
No,
right?
but like, okay, JP, he's a perfect example. He puts it all out on his logs, very public with it. He
Yeah.
takes a lot of tren and tolerates it just fine.
Okay,
he can't tolerate test.
Okay, but wait a minute. There's a difference between tolerating it and fucking up your system.
That's what I mean. One of like in terms of like when he runs tren, his health markers don't really change too badly.
Okay, but wait a minute.
So what I mean is he must like the whole blood type thing. He's probably very different to I am.
I understand that 100%, but
which explains why you see such different responses and different feelings and sides and everything from different people.
I get it 100%, but my question is this: isn't JP like 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's 30 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sure when I did my blood work when I was 30, and I did some pretty dumb shit. I don't think I ever took 1,000 milligrams of tren, but my blood work was always fine.
He's very vigilant with it. He's very vigilant.
So was I.
I mean, he's like anal about health.
I'm not saying he's unhealthy, and
no, not at all. But I mean, that's why he's a good example to use. And so I'm not saying. So he's doing. What I mean is, it's like.
Well, my concern. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is what I want to make. I want to make this 100% clear because this is one of the things in my career that I wish I could go back and do again.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want younger guys out there, 20, 25, whatever. My blood work was 100% normal until I hit like 32. And then the trend started. It started to go, and it doesn't just go like this, like just doesn't go like all of a sudden it's shit. Just you lose like, let's say you're talking about your kidney level, right? Your GFR, which is an important marker in your kidneys.
It's very.
For those of you listening. So your GFR is a filtration rate of your kidneys, how fast they can filter through blood. Would that be a proper way to say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so every year you'd notice it drop 2 points, 3 points, 2 points, 3 points. Now you're like 40 and you're like, oh, fuck. It's like not good. Like I need this to be higher. It's not, I need this to be in a higher spot. It's not dangerous, but it needs to be higher.
Yeah.
And you just don't, some people won't, you don't feel anything. I don't feel unhealthy. I feel fucking.
No.
So all I'm saying, so my only point is this: just because you're taking 2,000 milligrams of test or 1,000 milligrams of tren, or you're taking 200 milligrams of fucking Anadrol a day, doesn't mean something's not gonna. It's not triggering some type of trend as you go.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I think as well. I think so. What Mike's doing with his the research station and how many companies now are putting out really good health supplements, which you couldn't really get 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
That's making a huge difference, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of brands out there. There's a lot of brands out there that are really focusing on like kidney products, filtration products, stuff to look after your lipids, your cholesterol levels, your general almost organ support, but specific organs and supporting them. And those kind of products and research weren't around a few years ago.
Yeah, that's actually...
So now that we have access to those things and we have access to people like Mike, who's giving out all this free information, like I really do hope it puts the whole fucking use more, get huge, like mentality to bed. Because I've always said, unless you're healthy, you're not going to grow and you're not going to perform as well as you want to.
And that's something I don't think I ever understood. I don't think I ever understood that fully, because I think more people are like me than they are like you, and it's not a compliment to me; it's a compliment to you. But I think more people think like this: oh, it's not working, I should take more. Yeah.
What people don't understand is it's like, it's only when they say it's not working, it's been like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you expect to see in that amount of time?
No, but even for me, in my case, let's just talk personally. That way people will get more of a feel. For me personally, many times in my career, I'm like, I'm not growing as much this year as I was last year. I think maybe I need more. Or it's not necessarily just drugs. I'd be like, I need more food. Maybe I need more food. Maybe I need more protein. Maybe I need, and we never go, wait a minute, maybe shit's not functioning properly. And that's why
I'm the other way. I always think, well, what do I need to look at? What do I need to fix? Like, for example, if I'm like, my hamstrings, I'm pounding them, they're not coming up. I'll make sure that if I go and see a sports therapist, I'm like, are they fucking working? Fix that. And the last thing I look at is drugs, for me personally. I normally, my order of things is I need to check my body's actually like functioning properly. So I get regular sports massage, like chiropractor, because I notice for a lot of the time, if I start getting a bad knee, like my sacroiliac joint's out on the right side, it's twisting me up. Yeah. So a lot of the time you might have a bad shoulder just because your hip's out. And that's affect everything. So I get that regularly looked at. Yeah. That's my first thing. Then I'll look at my training. and then I'll look at my food, then I'll look at my sleep, then I may look at my drugs.
See, for me, I look at everything the same way you do.
Yeah.
But the answer is always more.
Yeah.
Which is not the answer. Like,
no.
What I mean by that is, like, for you, I'll take hamstrings too. I want bigger hamstrings. Okay, well, I guess I got to do 8 sets of fucking stiff legs instead of 4. That's my recipe. And it's just horrible. It's not the right recipe. It's like, you know what I mean? So,
well, I mean, that's what, you know, we talk about leg training. I know I spoke to Joe Bennett about my leg training.
Yeah.
He just condensed all the volume down and put more work in a smaller period of time.
Yeah.
And it was,
but did he put more?
So it wasn't more. It wasn't necessarily more, but he just made me do it better.
But did he put more, but just as separate off topic, but did he add more weight to the set, or did he just add more intensity techniques, or how did he make? No,
he would change the sequencing, change the intensity techniques.
Yeah.
He would change like which sets I took to failure and which ones I didn't, when to back off in the training, when to push harder. And it's like, it's very. Do
you think it's worth? Joe Bennett's the hypertrophy coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's? I want to ask him to come on the podcast. I think he's really, really intelligent.
He's fucking cool. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, no,
and everyone. I mean, it really annoys me because I agreed with everyone else before I actually knew Joe personally.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people think he's all about the fluffy training.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not. Every time I've trained with him, he's all about go as fucking heavy as you can, but it has to be perfect. That's all that matters.
We should have him on here together.
Yeah, we should. But it's like because and then I think as well because he's almost him and JP have exactly the same philosophies.
Yeah. But
the videos they post are so vastly different. People just misconstrue what they actually mean, but their training philosophy is almost identical.
Let me ask you this, and I'm not asking him this because this isn't a plug. We don't talk about what we're going to talk about before the show starts.
Yeah, we have no.
Do you think, because we're both lazy and we're not going to do that, but do you think it's worth paying? Because one of my problems is going overboard, like training too much or doing too much volume. Do you think it would be worth me? Does Joe write programs I want to buy? If I want to write me something?
I think he would. I think he would help you. He certainly would help you.
Does he do that now, or does he just like?
I don't know. He did it for me because obviously we're friends and I'm part of Redcon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if he did. It always actually surprises me when because when you look at his training clips he posts, the majority of the time they're quite weird movements. He's like changed it a lot.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of, but if it works, it works, you know.
Yeah.
But he's all about training fucking heavy, and he's quite low volume as well.
See, I don't know if I can do that though with all the injuries I have.
No, but he'll tweak it to
you. He'll cater it to my thing.
But like he'll get you using maybe the less or maybe the same weight. He will make it so much more efficient.
I wonder, because I was using John Meadows, like John's been writing my, I shouldn't say that. John did it for 2 off seasons, but they were my best off seasons because it kind of got me to pull back because I was following somebody else's thing.
Yeah.
So I wondered maybe I should, because I kind of want to try something fresh and new. So I thought maybe that might be a good idea. I might message him and see if he'll help me out.
He's very good. He thinks of like things like if I'll struggle with a split, like I want to prioritize certain body parts and I can't figure out the split.
Yeah.
He'll just be like, oh, so it's like this. And it's like, oh, yeah, obviously.
Isn't that awesome when you have somebody that fucking intelligent? It's the same thing as Mike.
I mean, he's very good. He's very underrated, I think. A lot of people don't give him enough credit.
But it's because, you know, you say it's like him and JP are the same, but JP's videos are so raw.
Yeah.
And there's so much weight. And there's so much.
That's what I mean. But
people
JP
are more drawn to it.
Yeah, JP does all the fluff too.
No, I get that.
And all the heavy stuff, he always talks about if you have to do it correctly.
I get it. Yeah. I get it 100%. But what I'm saying is the perception.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Bodybuilding.
That's why, I mean, you know, when I trained with Joe, we did legs 3 days after Tampa, 2 days after Tampa. Yeah. I sent him up to 5, I think it was 5 plates on the safety bar squat.
Holy fuck.
And he was making me do like really controlled slow eccentrics, and he'd make me do a slight pause in a certain area, and he wouldn't let me explode up. So there was literally no inertia at all. It was all quad. And I did 5 plates. It was the most I've ever felt it in my legs. And he still was like, I don't give a shit if you did a show a couple of days ago. You feel good. Let's go as heavy as you can. Make it perfect. And that was the load. I kept it perfect, and my legs were fucked.
But that's terrifying, though. You know that, right?
What do you mean?
Like 2 days after a show?
It's about 3 days.
That's still fucking terrifying.
But it wasn't. But what I mean is, I didn't go to that weight because I was chasing that weight.
Yeah.
That's the weight I ended up using. It was still perfect for the amount of reps I wanted.
You're just a strong fuck. I couldn't.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean, because I mean, a lot of people expect you to train with Joe and use half the amount of weight and make it too difficult.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No, I remember I did a photo shoot for SciTech 2 days after one of my shows, and they're like, Per Burnell was doing the shoot, and he's like, I want you to do 4 plates. I'm like, I'm not doing fucking 4. I'm like, 4 plates is for me on a good day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not. He's like, no. He's like, you just did 3, no problem. He's like, let's do 4. I'm like, and it was, I think I was younger, so I didn't know how to say no yet. So I was like, I'm like, okay. So I do 4. I do it once, takes a bunch of pictures, I put it back, and he's like, I need you to pause at the bottom. I'm like, this is 2 days after. I think it was the Sunday right after the show. And I'm like, I'm dehydrated still. I'm like, I did it, but I remember thinking afterwards, I'm like, that was really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because if you're ever going to hurt yourself, that's going to be the moment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember when I did a shoot the day after my first Arnold at Ep.10.
Yeah.
And it was for I Am Rebel at the time. And so Andy Huang was there. He's one of the powerlifters. And Elite FTS has quite a lot of fake plates.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they're like
for photos and stuff.
But just for photo shoots.
Yeah.
So so Andy had 7 plates aside, and he was just doing it like nothing. And I was like, okay, there's obviously got the fake plates on there. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the photographer was like, "Can you do that?" I was like, "Yeah." I hadn't warmed up, nothing. We'd done a few other exercises. No, and I picked it up and I tore it off the floor, and I was like, "Fuck, this is heavy." He's like, "Right, pause there." And I had to pause in the middle of the rep, and then I pulled it up to the top. Then I put it down. I was like, "Fuck me, that's pretty heavy." And it was just 7 normal plates.
I was just gonna say that.
But I think it just kind of shows how mentally.
Yeah.
It came up so easy, and like I was like, "I'm not doing that again." So once I knew exactly how much it was.
Before you knew what it was easy.
Probably should have checked. So.
But you know what? The mental thing is a huge thing for everybody, because for me, if I'm benching, I can go 1, 2, 3 plates, and I can do 3 plates for like 15 reps, no problem, right? Yeah. But if you put 405 on there, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. And
it's not because 405 is heavy. It's just because I worry about injury.
Yeah.
So I'm just stuck. There's like a mental block there, and I can only do 405. It's like if I'm really into my off season, I can knock.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you do 4.5 plates on a flat bench before.
No, I did 405 in my last prep just last May for 10 reps, no problem.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is my mind starts to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Once I get the 4th plate on there.
Yeah.
So
I'm now to the point where I do 4 plates pretty much every week.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
When I put like a tiny 2-pound plate on there, I'm like, oh fuck.
You got to psych yourself up, but yeah. That's what I'm saying. The mental thing's huge because
it's got to the point now where when I'm warming, I'll do 3 plates, I'll do 3.5, and I'll do maybe 1 rep with 4, and I won't even bother putting my wrist wraps or elbow sleeves on. That's how comfortable I got with it.
Yeah, it's like,
but then you're a smidge above. Fuck me.
Well, you'd think common sense would tell you if you could do 405 for 10, you can probably do 5 plates for 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've done 5 plates and it's fucking.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you
I mean, 405 to like 500 pounds or 495. That's a fucking big step.
But that's a mental thing though, because if you think logically, if you do 405 for an easy 10. You should be able to do 495 for 5 at least.
No, I don't think it quite works like that, because that's 500 pounds nearly. I think the heavier it gets, obviously the heavier it gets, the increments get smaller. It's like a pyramid.
Okay, even if you say 500 you can do 3 if you do 4 or 5 for 10.
Yeah,
I won't do 500.
Yeah,
I won't even put 5 plates on the bar. I'm just too scared to do it.
Yeah. But you do tear stuff a lot.
Huh?
You have had a lot of tears.
Yeah. I did 5 for a couple reps, like when I was like 28. But
I'm pretty sure I saw it in a video wearing like a big blue Muscle Tech t-shirt or something.
No, there was no video. It was like after a show when you're strong as fuck.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was like I just knocked out 2 reps and I racked it. I'm like, that's good enough. I just want to say I did it.
It's just crazy when you see that the videos of Kai Green doing 5 plates like it's nothing.
You know who's Ian does that too. I see Ian fucking.
Oh yeah, Ian's a freak with his pressing.
5 plates, and it looks smooth and like controlled with 5 plates. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like the plates aren't even wobbling. It's that controlled.
We should probably get to some of these questions. I had like 80 questions or something like that.
There's 140, I think.
Is there? I didn't look.
Fucking so many.
Okay, I'll go through and pick one, then you go through and pick one. I'm just gonna go like this blindly. Okay, watch. You ready?
All right.
Who's gonna flick and stop there.
Right.
Dylan Davis 97 says, "Oh, look at this. What sort of crazy sex offer shit do you guys get from being the size you are? Is it common?"
No, it's not common.
It was common for you when I was younger. It was gross. It wasn't like girls were like.
I'll tell you what has happened, actually. I mean, I've done it a couple of times at like meet and greets, like at the Arnold or the Olympia.
Yeah.
Middle-aged, not middle-aged, but kind of like mid-40s swinger couples they drop these weird hints. and it's weird. Like the wife will have a picture with you, and the husband will be making like these weird comments while she's taking a picture. And it's fucking horrible. Yeah,
it's uncomfortable. You kind of like you get a flash of like what it feels like to be a chick for like 2 seconds.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, I had.
Are you pulling these questions off of Instagram?
Yeah, I just grabbed one right here. It's just.
What about you? Have you had any fun?
Obviously, I've had the people want to buy my underwear.
I still haven't had that. I would happily sell it.
You've been waiting for it. You're like,
yeah. I have a whole bag of trunks because every time I compete.
They want my underwear, not my trunks.
Well, I got trunks. You can have my Olympia trunks.
Wait a minute. Can I ask you? Do you feel left out because no one's asked you to buy your trunks yet?
I'm gutted because I want to see how much money I could get for it.
Not much.
Because I don't know.
I tried to get 300 just as a joke one time. I showed my wife.
I mean, I would say $500 for my absolutely smelly Olympia.
No one's buying your. No one's giving
the ones that I wore for my routine. Memorabilia for my first Olympia.
They're not worth.
No, I should probably keep them.
Yeah, you should probably keep those.
I should probably put them up on the wall.
No, don't put them up on the wall.
They'll be just covered in flies, like a fly trap.
I had somebody offer me to fly me and my wife out to Vegas to. Yep. He just wanted to watch us bang.
Okay.
So I thought about it, and I'm like, I think I would do that. So I'm like, $25,000. He's like, it's too rich for me. So it's like, I just took a shot. I'm like, you know what? I'll just see if this guy's going to pay this much money, then I'll go do it.
Well, yeah, but would your wife do it?
No, she wouldn't do it. But it was such an absorbent amount of money that I knew he wasn't.
But what if she said yes?
Then I would go do it. Take the $25,000. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and splash it all in Vegas.
Well, I would just tell him like you can't videotape or anything. But
yeah.
But no, I've had a bunch of dumb fucking offers. But I don't know. It's bodybuilding. It's normal.
Yeah, well, I just feel a bit left out.
Yeah, I would feel left out too.
I don't really get weird people.
Everyone's had the underwear thing. I thought you for sure with the hoops and shit, people would have messaged you.
Why with the hoops?
Because
why would my ears make people want to buy my pants?
I don't know. You got a mohawk and a hoop, and like people are maybe think you're a little mohawk.
This is just a fuzzy fuzzball mess of hair.
Okay, well,
I
think people consider it a faux hawk.
A faux hawk.
And
I don't even know what it is. I've had the same haircut now for like 10 years.
Yeah, but you have the hoop earrings, and I'm like, people may think you have like an eclectic taste, so they would.
I've got a nose ring as well. Can you see it?
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
They might think you're like a little in between.
Why the fuck would they think I'm a little in between?
I don't know.
You look like something out of World of Warcraft, right?
That's good. Nobody. Anyway, find your question.
Oh yeah, fine. Right, here we go.
Wait, I got a good one.
Okay.
Tyler Saurus Rex 32 says, "What are your favorite bands and lifting music?" Since you're a music guy, why don't you tell me?
Is this aimed at me or you though?
No, it's for you. Okay. It's aimed at both of us. These are all
currently Wage War, Straight from the Path, Whitechapel, Architects, and the 1975.
I have never heard of any of those groups.
Wow.
Are those songs or are they group band names?
Yeah, 4 metal bands and one just phenomenal pop band.
Are they all English?
No, Whitechapel are American.
All right. Well, maybe I'm.
But English do make the best music. That's not debatable.
I don't know. I think I might have to agree with you there.
Yeah, same.
Who's your favorite band of all time? See, I have an American and an English.
Yeah, well, mine is probably American.
Who's yours?
I'd probably say it's Kings of Leon, which is weird because I started following them before their first album ever came out.
Yeah,
like I was really young.
I like them. I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but I like.
No,
them.
but they've I've grown up with them, so
Yeah.
I still get nostalgia when I hear them. Like I still get the same feelings I used to get. Like people who were introduced to them now, but like, this is shit. But for me, it's like a nostalgia thing. I think that's why, like, when people are fans of the Beatles, which I'm not, and I hear them, I'm like, I don't get the magic because every other band since sounds like the Beatles.
When you say a fan, do you mean you don't get any nostalgia, or you just don't like any of their music? Because I like the Beatles.
No, I mean, no. So when I listen to it, I don't hear anything special. But that's because I missed it all. That's because I've heard so many bands who have ripped them off.
Yeah.
That it's.
But do you like the music? Like when you're
it's great. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's great. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not blown away by it.
Best English band.
I don't have that emotional connection to it.
Best English band, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not positive they're English, but it would say Led Zeppelin.
Radiohead.
Radiohead's really good, but I don't think I put them in the top.
Really?
The reason I won't put them in the top is they're definitely in my top 10.
Queen.
Better than Led Zeppelin?
No.
Led Zeppelin's the best band out of England.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I'm just thinking of just all the legends that we've produced.
Isn't AC/DC English too?
No, I think they're Australian.
They all sound the same.
Shut up, you dirty American.
Okay, I'm Canadian. Fuck you.
Exactly.
I think Metallica and Led Zeppelin are my two favorite rock bands.
Yeah, everyone loves Tool, and I missed the boat with Tool.
With who? Tool?
Tool, yeah.
I only, I think there's a couple songs that everybody loves. I don't think everybody loves Tool.
I think I miss it because a lot of most of the music I listen to is streamed, and it has been for a while. Yeah, and they've only, as of a couple of weeks ago, allowed any of their music online. So
they do now.
Yeah, it's all.
There's one song I found that I can't get on stream, but now I'm wondering if I think it's called Stinkfist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that it? You don't know?
No.
I'm gonna look it up again. Anyway, what do you listen to? So those are the bands you listen to in your training.
Yeah.
What about all the more popular bands? I haven't heard of any of the ones you said, but
yeah, most of the metal bands. So that's probably why.
What about like Disturbed? For me, when I listen, for me, it's Disturbed, Metallica. I don't know. There's a lot of.
See, obviously, all of those bands are phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the more modern bands are just heavier and a bit more polished in the recording sound, so it's a bit easier to get into when you're training. See,
that's the problem. I have a playlist that I love, and I listen to it over and over again.
Would you not remember when we trained in Fit Nation? I think I put Architects on. You're like, this is shit. You're like, this is way too heavy.
If it's honestly, and that might make me sound like a pussy, but if it's too heavy where it's just like screaming and fucking, I can't. It's too much for me.
I mean, there is a difference. Because like sometimes it's like woof, woof, woof. Like Whitechapel's a lot like that, and like she loves it, and sometimes it's a bit. It's like summoning fucking Satan out of your ass.
Yeah, I don't know. That's maybe too much for me.
But but when you listen to it more and more, it kind of makes more sense.
All right, why don't you send me?
It's a bit harsh when you first hear it, because when I first heard Screaming, I was like, whoa, that's a bit much. And now I fucking love it.
Okay, after this episode, send me the names.
All right.
I'm going to add them to my playlist, see if I can use them in the gym. Because, when you train with something, sometimes you like it better.
Yeah.
And I'll put them in the description for you guys listening so you guys can see what Luke's favorite shit bands are.
Currently. These are the current bands.
I can't believe you said
I mean, you can't really train to the 1975.
I can't believe you said Radiohead's better than Led Zeppelin?
It's not better. You can't say better. They're just
they're different.
In terms of like, I think they've both made a massive impact on music.
Do you think Radiohead's timeless like Led Zeppelin though? Because Led Zeppelin, I could still listen to Led Zeppelin.
No, I mean when you listen to Radiohead, sometimes it sounds a bit too complex these days. It sounds a bit too dreary. But when I don't know, I guess maybe because like I play drums and I kind of have a music background. When I listen to Radiohead, I listen to a lot more to the music rather than the song.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's why I like the 1975 so much, because they're all fucking good at their instruments and they make good music. They're pure pop music, but they're like intelligent kids who've been together since they were like 15.
This is probably going to throw people off, and it's not in the same ballpark. But that's why I like Dave Matthews Band.
I like Dave Matthews Band
because there's a lot of different instruments. They're all played very well. I just like the sound altogether.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a musician.
One of their drummer, Dave Matthews, is one of my favorite drummers. Carter Beauford is one of my favorite drummers of all time.
Yeah, no, they're really good.
He's sick.
Okay, let's move on. Pick one if you can find one before me.
Oh yeah, do I get a turn now? We've got 140 of these. Right. How was the Olympia buffet? Didn't have one.
Do right, different. Wait. Okay, you go ahead first. Go ahead.
Right. What single leg exercise did you find helped build your legs the best, respectively? From Jam Taro.
Go ahead. You want to go first?
For me, the hack squats.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to say the traditional squat, but honestly, if you want to go a little further with it, the year I put on the most size on my legs, and this is going to sound really fucking dumb, and I don't want to hear anything from anybody, but because I know there's going to be some fucking hater. It's going to be like, "Oh, you're stupid." I didn't do any isolation movements for like a whole off season. There was one off season where I just did fucking. I skipped leg extensions. I would just go to like leg press, squat, hack squat, and then finish with front squats. Or if it was like a little bit lighter day, I would finish with lunges.
And that was for the whole off season.
The whole fucking off season.
Was that when you worked with John? Because when you worked with John, your legs came up a lot.
No, my legs blew up the most when I worked with Hani between 2010 and 2011.
Because I remember when you worked with John and I think when you won that first pro show, your legs came up so much.
Well, I think they were
just so much rounder and bubblier.
But I think they came down after that 2011 season because I started to hit him harder and harder and harder. And I think I started to beat him up.
Yeah.
I think when I started working with John, he pulled back on some of the volume and they kind of blew back up again.
Yeah.
But the initial burst in size was I didn't fuck around with any bullshit exercises. It was literally like, because I said to Hani one time, I said something stupid to him, and he's like, "Are you fucking dumb?" He wanted me to do squats and then front squats and then hack squats in a workout. And I said, "What's the point?" I'm like, "They're all squats. Why would I do all three in a workout?" He's like, "Are you fucking stupid?" He's like, "They're all going to work differently, and they're all going to help you grow. Just do what I tell you." So I did it, and it fucking worked. Because I never did that before. Before I would pick like one form of squat and then move on to something else.
So what did you do? Like, was it like just 4 sets to failure, move on, 4 sets to failure, move on?
Well, you could say 4 sets, but it wasn't because I would like, for example, if I sat down at the leg press, I would start with 2 plates to 4 plates, 6 plates, 8 plates, 10 plates, 12 plates.
Keep pyramiding up until you get to.
I would just keep going until I couldn't get 10, but all the previous ones were 20.
Yeah.
So I would do my volume sets were sets of 20, and I think that's what really blew my legs up.
Yeah.
And
so actually, there isn't too much work there. It's actually to failure.
Not till the very last. Well, it was failure, but to 20. Like I would say.
But what I mean is, I've said you did 10 sets working up to the
last 3, probably the last 3.
Yeah.
So the last 2 were like real failure.
So that's 2. I would classify that as 2 working sets.
Yeah. Well, I don't think failure is only working. You think only a failure set's a working set?
No. I'm just saying that's how I count my working sets.
Yeah, I don't. I count if a set is hard.
I do my leg training exactly the same way, but I only count those last 2.
Well, for me, if a set is hard, I count it as a working set. So if I'm going 2 plates, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, when I get to 12 plates or 10 plates, that it gets challenging to 20. I mean, it depends what leg press you're on, right? They're all different. Yeah. But when I get to 10 plates, it starts to get challenging to get 20.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's set number 1. And then I'll go 12 and 14. Usually 14 is where I'm like, stop. That's 10 reps.
Yeah.
So those 3 sets will be my working sets.
See that? I mean, that, again, with training, I think a lot of people just count their sets differently. It's just semantics. Everyone just.
Well, I would never count like 2, 4, 6, 8. Like those aren't.
No, you wouldn't. But some people might.
Yeah, people like to see it on a page. Like,
and like Dorian probably would only count the last one when you only got 10. He would only count that one.
And that's what bothers me about Dorian's training when you're trying to explain it to someone. Because someone will say, "Do you train like Dorian? Like you just do 1 set per exercise?" And I'm like, he didn't do 1 set per exercise. He did 1 set to failure.
Yeah.
So they don't count the feeder sets.
No.
They only count. They don't understand that he did like the feeder sets leading up to the failure set.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
his feeder sets were more. They were more warm ups than I would say a feeder set.
Well, Oh, you mean like it wasn't a working at all?
So he wouldn't do. I don't think he would do 12 reps. He would do like 2 or 3.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
but I know some people that do that. They'll sit down in a hack squat and they'll do 6 reps. Like they'll start with 1 plate and they'll do 6 reps, 3 plates, 6 reps, 5 plates, 6 reps, and then when they get to 7, that'll be their failure at 6 reps.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm trying to say is I think a lot more people train like Dorian than he thinks.
Yeah.
It just may be a little bit more volume, but it's in that same.
What you just described, the 6 reps up until you can't do 6 reps anymore. That's me.
Yeah.
I only count that final set.
Yeah, that's what John does too. John, if you read John's programs when he writes them, he'll say, whatever you're starting with, do 8 reps.
Yeah.
And do as many sets as you can, increasing the weight in small increments until you can't do 8 anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think that's the smart way to do it. I think you can build up a lot of volume on the way up and you still get that one hard set.
Yeah, that's because
again, I mean, Joe does the same thing.
Yeah. My problem when I started beating the shit out of my body was I was doing everything to failure.
Yeah.
Like I would warm up and then I would
warm up to failure.
Like 80 reps in. No, but even when I would like increase the weight, I would still just do more reps.
Yeah.
So I would be doing like 15, 12, 10, 8. And I'm like, it's not necessary. So I threw that away. Oh, this is a good one. What would you do if your partner cheated on you? Oh, maybe we should we talk about you want me to field that one?
No, I'd probably just shoot her in the face with a really nice gun.
Well, actually, if you want the truth, I got cheated on when I was like 20 or like 18 or some shit. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just like, I called her like 10 different names. And then I'm like, I dropped all her shit off at her house. And I was like, okay, fuck you. I'm out. I don't know. I don't bother with like the whole, like trying to get her back and like trying to like, I'm like, just,
but shooting her in the face isn't getting her back. It's just,
No, but I mean like when guys message me and they're like, what would you do if your girl cheated on you? I'm like, that's it. That's it. There's nothing to do. Just
it's very difficult if you love them and they're like the one for you, and you find that out. There is that emotionally crippling.
Well, if my wife cheated on me now, I would probably shoot her in the face. No,
with a shotgun.
Yeah, no, but I get messages from people all the time, and they're like, I broke up with my girlfriend, my life's over. What do I do? And I'm like, go to the gym. I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Fucking hell.
I'm sorry. I'm not a therapist, but that's how I got through shit.
It's not terrible advice.
Listen, me and my ex-girlfriend broke up, and I broke up with her, so maybe it was easier. I don't know, but I went to the gym. I just kept going to the gym, and it kept my life in somewhat a type of normalcy.
Yeah.
My father died in 2006. 2 days later, I was in the gym and like just did what I want because it just kind of keeps
I can understand that. I mean,
even when I tore my tricep, you feel like your life's over. You're like, holy fuck, I'm in a cast. I can't do it. I just kept going to the gym. I'm like, I'll do legs 4 times a week, whatever. Just because it keeps you in a pattern rather than just sitting on the fucking couch and like weeping about your shit life.
I can imagine if you did that, you'd be really fat. Because you'd probably just keep ordering pizzas, just keep ordering food, just sitting in front of watching watching a series and with about 6 pizzas, cry a bit, order some more. We've all been there, mate.
Do you guys have Skip the Dishes over there? It's like we have an app. It's called Skip the Dishes, or that you can order like any restaurant and they'll like go get it and bring it to your house.
That's kind of like Uber Eats, surely.
Yeah, you guys probably have something like it.
We have Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Just Eat.
Yeah, we have Just Eat too, like that. Yeah. That's the death of me. That's what makes me fat.
Yeah.
Because I have to. Because you can't just. Cause for me, I used to just throw everything away in the house, and that's how I would stay lean. Yeah. But now I can just go on my phone and like.
I know, it's a fucker, isn't it? You'd be sitting there like, oh, I'm pretty hungry. I might just order McDonald's, but to be healthy and to be a bodybuilder, I'm going to order 80 chicken nuggets. That's protein and carbs.
Yeah, but for a long time you couldn't order McDonald's. You had to like go and get it.
Well, they got Muck Delivery now.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Smart. They're good with that, aren't they? Their marketing is brilliant.
Exactly. Anyway. All right, one more time.
All right, so I find a question. I think we've got time for a couple more.
Okay, one more. I'm just gonna flip it through and see where it goes.
Does your wife ever just like randomly text you like links to things she wants you to buy her for Christmas?
No, because she knows
she knows you're such a good husband. You know exactly what she wants because you pay attention to everything she says.
I wish I could say that. I was gonna say she knows I'm an asshole, and if she asks me for it, I definitely won't buy it.
Oh really? See, I'm just like I'm the other way. I'm just like, if you want it, just fucking tell me what it is.
No, she
fucking tell me what it is and where I can buy it. That's what they're the two key informations for me to buy you a present.
Yeah, but I feel like it's more special if you can. What the fuck is the point of that? Tell me what it is and tell me where to buy it. What does that?
Because you can't afford it. So
no, but that's bullshit. No, that's not how you do it. I honestly, if you want the honest truth, I pay attention to what she says. Like I know what she likes.
Well, obviously, you know what they like, but sometimes like there are specifics.
I will get.
You know, if you're buying them their makeup, for an example, you're treading on ice there.
I would never buy makeup. I bought her a couple purses.
If she wanted me to buy the makeup, she fucking needs to tell me what it is.
I'm not going to buy the makeup. You can buy the makeup.
I'll buy your wife the makeup.
No, I mean, I tell her, like, you can buy. So, like,
what do you do? Okay, you buy it, I'll reimburse you.
No.
That's even worse.
No, I mean, I'll buy you something else. So, like, I bought her a couple purses.
Yeah, that's good.
But I remember,
but I'd imagine you knew she'd like those specific ones.
Yeah, because there's certain brands I know. Even if I get her the shittiest one, she's gonna like it.
Yeah, and that's what you do. Get the shittest one.
I just get the cheapest one. I'm like, so much is this?
I see. Like, but I bet earlier in the relationship you go slightly higher, and now you've just come down.
No, there's birthdays now where there's nothing. Because I'm like, like, look. Listen, she's got expensive taste. Okay.
Right. So
there'll be like some not birthdays, but let's say there's like an anniversary that comes around or Christmas.
And you just skip it.
I'll be like, not just flat out like forget. Like I'll tell her. Like we'll talk.
You just fucking, oh yeah, anniversary this year.
No, I don't mean it that way. You're such an asshole. I mean, like we will discuss it and we'll be like, look, we're renovating the house. We're putting a fuck ton of money in the house right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm not just like, you're not getting shit. Fuck you. I'm not like an asshole.
Do you get her a card?
No.
We're really big on cards here.
You know what? We are too. I'm not.
You're used to break, obviously.
I need to work a little harder. I can.
Just take all my excellent relationship into advice because mine's worked a charm. So.
All right, go ahead.
So I'll find a question that isn't boring. Who wins in a show, peak Fouad or peak Luke? Why? What do you know? It's me.
No, it's not.
Give me that fucking shit.
It's not even close. What are you talking about?
Well, I got third in the Arnold Classic.
20. So what? That's all lineup dependent.
Yeah, and I beat some good guys.
I'm not taking anything away from you, but 2015 Fouad was pretty impressive.
He's a bit stringy.
Oh, not stringy at all. I'm going to post a picture right now. And
you did look fucking crazy. I do remember. Before I knew you, before we met, you were one of my favorite bodybuilders. You're not anymore. But you used to be. Right. Let's find another good question.
This is my problem. I didn't have the consistency I needed to be one of the best in the world.
You didn't have the consistency.
No, I couldn't. Okay. Mentally, I would get.
Well,
this
is why for like longevity, I have 3 periods of my year. I have my pre-contest, my off season, and my properly off season. Which is where I am now, where I get for about a month or 2, I kind of train a little bit, eat what I want. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat. If I will eat, hungry, and I let my body and my mind rest.
But you're not thinking about it the way I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so
you're thinking about it in terms of burnout.
Okay.
What I mean is, my anxiety would lead me to either overtrain, so I looked stringy on stage, or I would do something to self-sabotage my fucking. I would get nervous in my
What
like.
do you mean? What you cheat on your diet or something?
It'd be more like I'd be carbing up for a show, and the pressure of the show would be getting to me, and I'd be like, I need to carb up more. I need to be bigger, and I would carb up more, and I end up watery on stage. Yeah. Like it just, I really had I mentally was in my head too much, and I wasn't just like letting the work take care of itself.
I think I would be. I think I would be if I didn't take that little time off.
But I took that time off too.
No, you did.
You just seem like a calmer person than I am. No. Like before the Olympia. Remember what you're going through before the Olympia?
Yeah.
Remember we talked like a couple weeks out, and you were like, I don't know if you want to divulge this, but
yeah, go for it.
And you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't look that great, I'm not happy with how I look, blah blah, and I have to like calm you down.
Yeah.
That was me at every show.
Yeah.
Like every show. It doesn't matter how small or how big.
However, looking back, I was right.
Well, but you weren't. I was right too, because at that time you just looked a little watery, which could have changed. It just didn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
But it wasn't like you were fat. No. And you were way out of. I'm like, in my mind, when I looked at your photos, I'm like, look, there's no fat there. You're just watery, and once the water comes off, you're gonna look just like Arnold. But that's all easier. It's easier said than done when your body's tired.
Isn't it? It's way easier said than done, and a lot of people don't respect that, and that's the thing that annoys me. Is when people don't give it the respect. It's like we discussed last week about people being off. Even the best of all time have occasion coming off, and it happens. And you sometimes because it's so difficult to get it right. People are like, "Why did you just get greedy?" What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you guys, you know what? A perfect example of this. You guys see what happens to Juan Morel. Juan Morel is a great example of what we're talking about, because people think, well, why don't they just eat a little less and train a little harder and they'll be more in shape? Why doesn't Rami just lose? I hear this all the time. Well, if Rami lost 10 more pounds, he would be shredded. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you guys all something right now. Juan Morel is the perfect example of what happens when you're trying to lose too much weight in too short a period of time. Juan Morel pushed his body so far that he ended up on the Olympia stage 2/3 of the size he really is supposed to be. Yeah. And I can only say that because he admitted it. Like, he said it to me in the podcast.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, actually, Dorian put up a picture a couple of days ago of him 6 weeks out and 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
He's visibly smaller in the 3 weeks out, and the 3 weeks out does look a little bit more filtered. So I don't think the condition's that much different.
Yeah.
I think Dorian was always guilty of overdoing it towards the end, which I think he's admitted, hasn't he?
He admitted that. Yeah, he said that in interviews. Yeah. So what I'm trying to express to people is, it's like you can keep pushing yourself further and further and further, but if you try and do it in a shorter period of time, like most bodybuilders do in 12 weeks or whatever, your body will just start shrinking and you'll start looking like stringy.
Yeah. See, that's my how long are your preps?
Man, I've done 7 weeks before.
Really?
I lose weight fast. Like if I want to.
Well, like how? Are you a 12-week or a 16-week guy?
12-week. I can't.
I do 16 weeks because the reason I do that is the first 4 weeks is just cleaning everything up and me doing a perfect 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And by the time I get to the 12-week out mark, my body's nice and responsive and it's clicking and everything's working, and I know exactly we know exactly what to do.
Yeah. Well, this year I'm going to be doing a fucking 40-week because, well, I already started. Like because the only goal I have this year is to shrink my waist.
Same. Yeah.
And I don't think you can do that in 12 weeks.
No.
It's a matter of eating small meals and clean food for as long as possible. And then I think you can start to bring the entire thing down. Yeah. And I think actually taking out, like I said, I'm only doing 300 milligrams of test right now. And I just started doing until I use a GH. I think that small amount of hormones will also allow my body
I can agree with that. I can agree
bring my waist down. So actually, I have something interesting before we go really quickly. I got in a debate with this kid yesterday, and it was starting to frustrate me, but at the same time not. I just was annoyed. He got mad at me for using the word clean when talking about food. Does that bother you? Like if you say like this is a clean food, like this is a clean cheat meal or a clean.
I normally say clean is something that has like if the food you're eating is a singular ingredient, like a chicken breast.
I say clean as in is something I would be eating in a normal bodybuilding diet.
Yeah, I mean everyone fucking knows what clean means. He's just being a cunt.
That's what I thought.
He knows exactly what the fuck you mean.
This is what I'm talking about.
People he always eats like 25, thinks he knows it all.
So he's like, He's like, dark chocolate's considered a clean food. Why don't you say that chocolate's clean? I'm like, actually, dark chocolate's not considered a clean food in my head. It's not a food I would be eating in a regular bodybuilding diet.
Yeah, I can agree. But the reason I would look at that is because look at the amount of ingredients in dark chocolate. Therefore, it is not a clean food. Look at the amount of look how many ingredients are in rice. 1. How many ingredients are in steak? 1. How many in eggs? Fucking 1, and it's egg. Do you know what I mean?
You know, that's a better way to put it, because when people ask me what clean food is, I say unprocessed. Yeah, but that's not really that's not really accurate, because rice is processed.
So if you were to have like KFC and you look at the ingredients, the chicken at the top, and then a fuckload of other stuff, that to me, everyone knows that KFC is unclean. Clean food, and that's how I would kind of rationalize that.
So if I want to define it to another cunt that fucking messages me, no, because I'm like, you're just. Because when I'm messaging the guy back, I'm like, you're literally just trying to annoy me. Like, I think you totally understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You watch too many.
Everyone fucking knows what a clean food is.
Yeah.
Even if I said to my fucking nan, what's a clean food versus a dirty food? She'd be like, oh, vegetables are clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'd just know.
Yeah. I think it's because they're taking it like a scientific term. And I'm like, look, at one point in the argument, I said, look, I'm not using clean as a scientific term. It's the way I communicate with other bodybuilders. Another bodybuilder knows what I'm saying when I say clean food.
And you should have said, and so do you little twat. Shut up.
Well, my wife was bugging me. She's like, why are you responding?
Because they're the ones that you respond to. They're the ones that you reply to the comments when they're just being annoying.
No, I respond to everybody, because you know what? I did that. At one point in my career, I realized, why am I only commenting back to the cunts in the fucking thread? There's like 100 people message me.
Because everyone else I just like to comment. Because I hate it when people are like, whoa, bro, you're amazing. I don't want to go, thanks. Because it's like, I don't know what to say. So I just like to comment instead. But if somebody says something like, you just need to get a bit more peeled, and I'm fucking dry as a nun, that's when I'm a bit more like, fuck yourself.
How do you know nuns are dry all the
time? It's just an assumption.
I don't think that's a good analogy.
It's just an assumption. Dry as Gandhi's flip-flop. I think dry as a nun's good. Dry as a nun good? Yeah, it's good.
No, it's not. You don't think nuns have urges?
They probably do.
Yeah, see?
That's probably why you can get a nun.
Let's get a female opinion. Do nuns have urges?
Tight as a nun. That might actually be the same. That might actually be the same.
Tight as a nun doesn't work either.
What?
It doesn't work either.
How does it not? They're virgins and they don't put things in there because they're not allowed.
Oh, they're not allowed to use like toys?
I don't think so. I'll check the Bible. Get the Bible. I'll find out if nuns are allowed dildos. I need to know.
This show is totally fucking useless. You know that, right?
Are men allowed to have a little wank? I don't know if it's.
Are men allowed to what?
Masturbation is a sin, apparently. We're all sinners.
Oh, that's true. So it would be tight. Yeah, but doesn't it get loose?
Yeah, it would be, yeah. And it probably would be wet as well. Dry, sorry.
Wait a minute. No.
Why does this always come out at the end of the show? It's going so well, and now it's just gone.
I didn't even fucking mean it. You said dry as a nun. You said it. I didn't say shit.
Yeah, because you started breaking it down like, well, what does clean food mean, bro? You knew what I meant when I said dry as a nun. You're as bad as that kid.
I'm just trying to decipher the analogy. I want to make sure it's correct. I don't think it's correct.
I can't even remember what we're talking about. That's how far off track we are. Literally not a clue.
Okay, on that note, well, it's been like an hour and a half. I got to eat.
Yeah, so
I got to train legs later. So, hey, do you think it's 2 o'clock?
Nice.
Do you think it's okay to train legs if I got some Graston scraping done today?
I think if you do it, just do it very, very light and just do volume and nothing to failure and nothing loading.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of Grastons, just a little bit of scraping.
Oh, if it's a little bit, yeah. It depends how severe it is. You'll feel it. But just know your history with injuries. You know,
well, according to my
because you've just changed the muscle the way it's moving slightly. And
according to my history, I should just stop working out.
Exactly.
Fuck. Listen, I'm dieting down right now. Leave me the fuck alone.
Well, dieting down to what? To nothing? What do you mean?
I'm gonna switch to classic.
Are you?
I want to challenge Chris Bumstead for the Canadian title.
The Canadian title. It's not the Canadian title, it's the world title.
Yeah, well, I want to be the best.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? That Chris Bumstead is the best classic physique in the world.
But he looks like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it looks like...
Imagine Brandon Curry right now. Do you think Brandon Curry is like, I'm the best in the world? Or does he still like, fuck's sake, you know, Roden, does he still maybe consider Phil being better than him? Or Kai being better than him? I
don't want to be negative, but I'll tell you from my own perspective, because I've beaten people that I don't think I should have beaten.
Yeah.
It's always in the back of your head. Like, anybody who's a realist knows, you know what I mean? Like, okay, and I use this example over and over again. I beat Dennis Wolf in 2011.
Yeah.
Dennis Wolf was off.
Yeah. I
don't run around saying I'm better than Dennis Wolf.
I do. I'm always like Cedric, better than him. Really, beating him. I've beaten Kevin Lavergne, and I've also beaten Dennis Wolf.
I beat Sean Roden at the same, like, around the same time.
Well, yeah. No, I think it's because I mean, yeah, because a lot of the guys weren't. I'm not saying he's not, because I prefer him to the other two. But I wonder if that's in his head. Well,
what I think is this: bodybuilding shows that's it. They're a show. So he was the best bodybuilder that day. There was nobody else better than him that day. But if we're talking about the history of bodybuilding and the legacy that he'll leave behind, that's not. You have to. There's a shitty thing in bodybuilding is this: the guy is the best bodybuilder in the entire world. He won a show that proved it.
Yeah.
But in our sport, if you don't win 2, 3, or 4 Olympias, you're not considered in the ultimate discussion.
Yeah, that's true.
So he won't. Only time will tell if he can sleep at night.
I still think the Olympian is going to be like the Arnold Classic. We're going to see different winners over the next 4 or 5 years.
I don't think so. I think somebody will. I think somebody will emerge. I
think you'll get somebody that will win maybe 2 or 3, but there's not going to be another 6, 7, 8 in a row.
Why do you say that? What evidence do you have of that?
I don't. I'm just. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think the only evidence that may point to that is that so many of our great physiques are doing other things. Like, when I look at some of the men's physique guys and I look at some of the classic guys, and I'm like, man, if you put 20 pounds on that guy, he would fuck people up.
Well, the thing is, I don't believe Phil Heath is as good as he was, because the last 2 years he hasn't looked as good.
What do you mean? Oh, you don't think he's as good as he was now?
If Phil comes back now, I don't think he's going to be the Phil Heath we're all thinking of is the 2011. Like, what the fuck?
If the 2017, if the 2018, if the 2018 was his last, 17. No,
18 was the one that he lost.
Yeah, but even if the but the 18 one, honestly, I don't know if Sean Roden beat him at that show. I really don't.
But I think this year, I think Brandon, William, and Hardy would have beaten him.
No way.
Really?
No fucking way. Dude, Phil is very impressive, even with a little bit of a belly.
Yeah, I know, but his physique in some poses is looking a bit. It's just not the same as it was. Like, something about his flow's gone. I don't know
The only poses I think were thrown off by his waist were his frontal bicep, which is an important one.
Yeah.
And his front relaxed wasn't as pleasing, but there's still 5 other poses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going based on what I saw in person this year and only pictures of Phil. Because it's like, for us, for example, how many times have people come up to you after the show and say how phenomenal you were and all this, that, and you see pictures like, I look like shit.
It happens every time.
Every time. Because we don't see what we want. Nobody ever sees themselves as good as they actually are, I don't believe.
Well.
Or they're the other way around and they're just really arrogant. But from myself, I don't think I see what anyone else sees. I'm always like really disappointed by it.
I don't either. Yeah.
And also we're never in the audience looking at ourselves up there, and we all know how different things look in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there is a huge difference between being there.
I feel like a lot of people have a negative opinion of Phil because of how he's handled social media and other things. I mean,
it's Generation Iron fucked him is what it is.
Yeah, it's all. Well, a lot of it is self-inflicted, and some of it is from Generation Iron, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is, I think if you eliminated the emotional attachments that people put to his name, and just look at him purely physically, I still think if he stood next to Sean or Brandon, maybe with his stomach at least fixed, I still think he beats both.
But 2 years have still passed. and his physique's not going to be what it was. Time changes you. And I don't believe he'll be quite the same as what he was.
He's like 37.
He's older now.
He's 37. That's like prime.
Yeah, maybe.
Seriously, like 32 to like 38.
There's always been something really odd about Phil's physique to me, something I've never liked. Like, I'm so impressed by him, but I just don't personally like his physique. I don't know what it is. It's like it's so unattainable that I'm just lost interest.
But that's true. I remember, I think I might have told this story on the podcast before, but I remember standing, the only Olympia I actually did, I remember standing in the lineup. I was like in the last call out. So I'm like, whatever. But I remember seeing the first call out go out. And it was like Jay, Phil, whatever, a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at the lineup, and I remember this thought exactly like it was yesterday. I looked at the lineup and I thought, Phil is the only guy up here that I couldn't look like, no matter how hard I tried.
Yeah. I think that's what it is with Phil, because his muscle looks totally different than everyone else's.
It does, especially in person. When you're standing there next to him, or even like you're looking at the stage, you're like, that guy looks different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Like
that's genetic. And I think when people are that good, people lose a bit more interest in it.
Yeah.
I think that's why Frank McGrath is so popular, because he's never been a mass monster, and he's always had, he's a freak in his own way, but people look at that and think, I could do that. Even though there's no way they could, because he looks insane. Because he's not so huge, people can kind of relate to it more.
Well, I think people will relate to it because we were just talking about this the other day. Frank's got all the show me body parts.
Yeah.
He's got the arms, the forearms, the
everyone
chest.
But the thing is, everyone wants to look like that.
Yeah.
Like who aren't hardcore, like competitive.
Yeah. The average person.
Because he's not so huge, people think, well, I can, it's
That's
more
right.
attainable in their minds, even though it's not.
That's right. Because the average person doesn't care about having huge legs. In fact, the average person doesn't want to have huge legs. So the fact that Frank doesn't have massive legs or like a massive back, like nobody cares. They just want the massive chest and the massive arms, and that's and a good little waist. That's what Frank's got going for him.
and the veins.
For the veins freak everybody out. Yeah, the veins. But that's his thing, and that's why he's always going to be popular, because he has the most attractive body parts that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Not like you or I. You have a small chest, and your arms are pretty good.
T-shirt bodybuilders, though.
Huh?
We're good t-shirt bodybuilders as well.
I'm not a good t-shirt bodybuilder. I have small arms now. They're both fucked up.
No, but when you wear a baggy t-shirt, you have wide shoulders and big traps. The way it drapes off you. Yeah. like if you're narrow, you look shit in a t-shirt and a big t-shirt.
Frank's got the t-shirt thing going on. He's got big arms, so he's always stretching.
But he's got one of the tighter t-shirt things. Like you and I me in a tight t-shirt, I look fucking ridiculous. It's just weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
She likes it. I'm not a fan. No. And but when I wear a baggy t-shirt, I think it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't. Like,
does she make you wear stuff that you don't like?
No.
Never.
No.
So you're not trying to impress her at all in any way.
No, she's struck gold, mate. So she knows it.
Because sometimes my wife will not make me, but she'll ask me to wear a dress shirt.
Oh yeah, she likes a shirt. I mean, but luckily there's a couple of companies here that do really good shirts.
Yeah.
Fit me. I actually ordered some clothing to take to Florida. So I ordered some nice new jeans and a couple of nice fitted t-shirts that actually cut to bodybuilders.
Yeah. What about dress shirts though, like a button up?
Yeah, they do, but they do dress shirts as well. They do like the button up shirts. They do long sleeve, short sleeve. They do the tuxedo neck ones.
And you don't mind wearing that stuff?
I'm not a fan, but when I wear those ones, because they're cut to our shape,
because they fit properly. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're wearing like a tent, and you're like a fucking fat prick, walking around like you're about to play snooker.
Yeah.
Or pool. I don't like that look, and I'd rather not.
I don't think dress shirts ever look good on us.
No, I think when you're in contest shape and it's fitted, it looks all right. Because after the
contest
Olympia,
shape,
this looks all right.
I'll give you contest shape. I'll give you
because after the Olympia, I put on a nice shirt with short sleeves, and I was like, yeah, this looks all right.
Yeah, I agree.
Only because the only long sleeve one I had was white, and I thought the tan's going to go straight through that.
Oh, yeah.
Just at the buffet, sweating your tan and looking like a fucking tea bag.
All right, so we have 85 or 150 questions here. We answered 3.
Yeah, and then we're just rambling in between. So let's do one more. Are you
going to do one more? Okay, we'll do one more.
All right.
Just so we don't get people really pissed off.
Yeah, I mean,
we still didn't answer the question: who wins the show between Fouad and Luke?
It's a stupid question. Stupid question. Everyone knows the answer.
You don't get hard enough. You would lose on conditioning.
At the Arnold, I was peeled. At Tampa, I was peeled.
Not like me peeled though. Like I'm like grainy. I get grainy peeled.
Just no, you have veins.
No, I get grainy. Remember we put that picture up?
I get sharper in the glutes than you do.
No.
Yeah, Mr. Crinkled Skin. Your nickname on all the forums is Crinkly Bumskin.
Oh, really? Yes. First time I've ever heard that. But.
And it's as one word, Fouad, Crinkly Bumskin. Bad. So
that's not gonna stick like Luke Solomore.
All right. Okay. How often should you take days off? Let's do some just quick ones. How often should you take days off?
Every 3 days at least.
Yeah, I would say every 2 to 3 days as well. If you're training hard enough, you shouldn't be able to train more than 3 days in a row.
Ideal age to start using anabolics. Would you allow your children to delve into PEDs if they want to pursue bodybuilding?
I don't think the best age should be when you're a fully grown man, not still going through puberty. If you're still in puberty at 23, fucking wait till it's done.
I agree with that.
You need to be a fully developed man, and you need to know exactly what you want. You need to know what to expect, good and bad. And you need to be old enough to actually make a good decision. Because if you're fucking 18 or 17, you do not know what the fuck you're talking about.
I agree with that.
As for my kids, I think they're both too clever for this.
Yeah.
If they want to do it, if they want to do it, I'm not going to encourage it, but at least I know enough to stop them hurting themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. More short questions.
Thoughts on eating before bed?
Sorry?
Thoughts on eating before bed?
I do it every day. Always have.
So you don't think it's bad?
Definitely not.
Do you curb any of the macros before bed? Do you still eat carbs before bed?
The carbs is the last meal. The last meal where I'll add carbs is that last meal in like an off-season phase.
So you'll add carbs to meal 6. Is meal 6 your last meal?
Yeah.
So you'll add carbs to meal 6 if you're really trying to put the pounds on.
Yes, but I won't do it for longer than a couple of weeks normally. And also,
and then what?
But on my rest days, I'll probably have very low carbs on like in the afternoon, evening.
See, okay, wait. I want to get into that for 1 second. I know it's supposed to be a short answer, but this is actually always a question in my mind. Don't you? I used to believe that your off days should be your heaviest days, so that you get ready for the next day, which is always usually a heavy body part.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I eat more. I eat a lot more fat on my rest days. And I eat probably a little bit less carbs because I just don't think you need them as much.
I know, but what I'm asking is this: if like, okay, before you get on stage for a show, you carb up the day before and the day before that to load up for the show, so your muscles are full on the Saturday.
Yeah, but you should be full all the time in the off season.
Oh, so you don't think that whole like, if I'm training legs on Monday, then Sunday should be a fucking?
You can do, yeah. I don't think it hurts. If you want to get a little bit of extra food in, yeah, why not? I mean, I do tend to do that because in the off season, I'll probably have a cheat meal 3 or 4 nights a week.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it won't always be complete junk. Sometimes it's just like, I'll just have a huge bowl of cereal with whey in it.
Oh, by the way, I was shocked to see that a lot more people wash in the sink than I thought.
I know.
But I think a lot of them are lying. I think they're too ashamed to say they just roll over and go to sleep.
What, you with your fucking crispy dick in the morning? Like it's all dried. It's just like this looks like an icicle.
It stays straight because it's so dry and crispy.
Yeah, and it just has this little. Yeah, it has a little like little stalactite hanging off the end of it.
It's so fucking gross. I didn't say I don't wipe off. Like I wipe off.
You just said you pull out and roll over and go to sleep. And she's got to go and sit on the toilet waiting for it to dribble out. You horrible fucker.
Okay, first of all, I didn't say anything about in. I do sometimes.
Okay, right, you don't stand up and say, wait there, honey, let me go and get a towel and wipe it off you. You just go, no, roll over and she's got to like crawl on all fours.
Actually, you're wrong. Okay, this is too much fucking information. This is my wife.
You started it, go.
Okay.
This is your chance to tell everyone how much of a gentleman you are.
I will clean off the situation.
The situation? Right. Okay.
Before rolling over and going to sleep. But I'm not going to get up and shower.
Are you one of those guys that just grabs a towel or an old t-shirt, whatever's on the floor, just scoops it up, chucks it in the laundry bin? Is that you?
Maybe.
Or are you the tissue, flush it down the toilet?
I don't want to answer that question. Let's just leave that one.
It was the first one. I can see and everyone else can see your eyes too if you're watching this on YouTube.
All right, it's not a good habit. It's 3 a.m, for fuck's sakes.
What do you mean? What, when you're doing it?
Yeah, it's like the middle of the night. I'm not saying this isn't all the time.
Yeah, I know. We're only talking middle of the night. I'm not talking like when you're doing it on
it's the fucking middle of the night. I get a pass.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just make sure you do have a shower in the morning. That's a must. Otherwise,
listen, I don't leave the fucking house ever without showering first.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to worry about that. But I was actually just surprised at the amount of people that do the same.
You're quite a clean freak as well. Like in your kitchen and in your house, you're very clean and organized and Mr. Sanitary.
I wouldn't say I'm Mr. Sanitary, but I'm a neat freak. Like I don't like shit to pile up everywhere. Everything's kind of.
I hate that too, but I tend to let it happen a little bit.
Not really. I like, for the most part, everything goes in its place. I don't like shit all over the place.
Yeah, I'm like that. But like, for example, just sometimes I'll leave a pile of washing on my dining room table.
Yeah.
And it'll stay there for a couple of days.
Oh, I don't do that.
Like, yeah.
My shit stays there for a day max, and then I'm like, it's got to go to the dishwasher.
But every day it annoys me. I'm like, I'm going to move that later, and I forget. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, I can't be asked. It's too late now.
Yeah, but now you got a girlfriend again, so you're going to stop being such a slob. So
no, I'm still going to stay the same. If she wants it tidier, that's up to her. She knows what to do.
Either way, somebody's going to clean it up.
Yeah, like when you're a kid, you just leave it on the floor because your mum's going to do it. Everyone's responsible. Everyone's the same.
I'm sure she's happy about that. That's awesome. You're going to lose her again, you fucking idiot.
Nah. Anyway, moving on.
Last one. Okay. I got to eat.
Yeah, same.
Thoughts on muscle maturity. Do you feel that once you've held onto muscle for a long period of time, that it belongs to you, in quotes, and is less likely to be dieted off?
Yes. I think that's just because you increase your amount of muscle density the longer you've been training and it sticks. So
yeah, that's a really like bro sciencey way to say things, but I can't say it any better. That's
I mean, we are bro scientists. We are literally scientists of the bro. So I've got a pretty good question here. Do beards help elicit hypertrophy?
Yeah, I started growing actually more when I got a beard.
Yeah, no, but I mean, does having a beard help? Basically, I'll translate it for you, Meathead. Do beards help you grow more?
Yes.
Good.
That's what I just said.
No, you didn't. You said you started growing. You said
once I grew a beard, I started to grow more.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant once you started training, your beard grew more. Okay. Sounds like that's not the question. No. Well, I shaved mine off about a few weeks ago. I shaved it off completely, and that was kind of. I think we're about 12 days since I've shaved off.
I trimmed mine, as you can see. It's nice.
Well, I wanted to trim mine, but like when I got back from Vegas, it just had like tan. It was all brittle, and like I didn't. I used to use like beard oil and stuff to make it kind of soft and not itch, and I used to brush it all the time. When I was in Vegas, I just fucking left it. When I got home, I was brushing. It was like snapping off. I was like snap the hair off.
I don't do any of that.
I like where I trimmed it, it was growing all up my cheeks. And I was like, fuck, just trim it off, grow it back.
Yeah. No, I couldn't see my neck for a little while because it grew down to like here.
Yeah.
And I was starting to look like a fucking hobbit. So I'm like, just at least I could see my neck.
You started looking like a terrorist. Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Well, you're in Canada, aren't you? Everyone would just be too polite to say anything.
Nobody says
You can literally walk around with a bottle like, nice day. Moose, eh? It'd just be...
Don't we?
Canadians are too
Anyway. All right. What are we doing next week?
Yeah, next week.
All right.
I'm actually back from Florida. I'm back from Florida Monday morning, so yeah, that works well.
All right. Well, if you're jet lagged, we can do Tuesday. So if we're late, you guys should expect a day late.
Everyone's like, I can't believe people are like, I can't believe you're late with the podcast. It's like, we don't have to do it.
Why? Who said that? Yeah,
no, because I had messages. I had somebody come to people message me and say, "Where's the podcast?" It's like, we're doing it tomorrow. I'm like, okay. And it's like we annoy people if it's late.
Well, they got used to seeing us, man. Like, I don't know why. We're not talking about anything important, but
we get a lot of good feedback for this podcast.
I did a little
shit. It's so shit.
It's not shit.
It is. You know it is. You fucking know it is.
No, it's not shit. Actually, I thought about that. I'm like, because I had a bunch of people talk to me at an expo and about how much they love the podcast, and I said, "Do you like the individual podcast?" And well, me and Luke, they're like, "Oh, you and Luke is awesome." And I think they like it. Honestly, it's like this. If I was 20 years old and when I started bodybuilding, and there was a podcast with like Ronnie Coleman and fucking Jay Cutler, and they were just laughing and talking shit.
Yeah,
and telling and telling you like what cycles they did and how they did it. And like this, the amount of this is what people told me. They're like, it's funny, but the amount of information that comes out by accident is what they like.
Okay, that's good. Well,
we're talking shit back and forth, and they'll catch like, oh, this is what he eats his meal.
I mean, we do talk a lot of shit, and I like it. I think we've probably given out a lot of solid relationship advice as well.
That I can say we have to work on for sure, but at least you're back together with your girl though, so you did something right.
Well, hang on. And
I actually wanted to take
your
credit.
Marriage is great, and your marriage, as you said, has improved.
Yeah, but my marriage has been great for 13 years. I'm good.
Yeah, but it's slightly better now. A little bit.
Only because my wife hears me say my wife online all the time, and when you're with a girl and every other girl in the world knows you're talking about her, then she feels special.
Yeah.
So that's why. But I am taking full credit for your really current relationship.
Okay.
Well, just because I think your girl, and she's there so she can attest to this. I think your girl probably heard us talking about her on our podcast.
She wouldn't listen to this.
And how much? No, for sure. One of her friends sent her clip of you because you were on. Remember our first couple podcasts? You were on saying how much you missed her and how much you wanted to be with her and how you fucked everything up and everything. And now look, now she's back. She heard you. So
mission accomplished. No, she's only with me because of my new contract. So.
That could be it too. A five-year lucrative deal.
Yeah.
Hey, take it however you can get it. It's fine.
That's what I say to her. Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna go eat.
Okay.
All
See you later, man.
Hey, wait, before you go, everybody, don't tell us how great our podcast is in the comments. That's nice and everything.
You still do that. And then
okay. But tell us what you guys want to hear about. We'll do it. We'll do more of them next week.
Yeah. Although we should probably, I don't know whether we should keep doing the questions because we've just let about 150 people down.
You know why? It's because they're on Instagram. It's harder to, for some reason, when it's on in the comments section, I can get to more of them. Plus, just because they ask them doesn't mean we can get to them. We're going to try to.
We're going to try to. So we'll have about 200 questions. We'll probably answer 3.
Yeah, but it's a podcast, it's not a Q&A.
Okay. So maybe we should do a Q&A one day.
We couldn't because it'll be so much dog shit in between each question. It'll be like,
that's the format of the show, isn't it?
That's pretty much.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I'm going to eat.
So, mate, see you later, man.
See you, brother.